Take the devil off! Take the devil off! Take the devil off!
About the group that you are in, the name of your group, and what your group represents.
The group name is Hostile Gospel.
Okay.
Hostile Gospel. We got that name from, in the Word, it talks about being ambassadors and soldiers for Christ. And we figured that some of the things, how they always say that the truth hurts, it really does, you know. And in this, the war that we fight every day within ourselves, that we need to be equipped to fight, because most people aren't equipped to fight. That's why they are subject to so many different things as far as drugs and all these other things. So we felt, you know, if you're gonna fight this war within yourself, you gotta fight. You gotta get hostile. Nobody's calm when they're fighting. You know what I'm saying? So this we fight with the Word, because that's our weapon, that sword, that double-edged sword. So that's why we named the group Hostile Gospel.
Okay. And how long has Hostile Gospel been in existence?
3, 4 years? I'm gonna say 4.
Okay.
From like what, 02? That make 5.
Probably like 03.
Yeah,
I'd say seriously since 03, so that's 4 years.
And how did you, well, first of all, let me just tell you what this is for.
Okay.
I think that would be a good introduction, and I should have done that before I even started. I am giving this presentation over at Plymouth, New Hampshire, and it's a conference on African and African-American popular culture. And I became interested in gospel hip-hop and what it represents when I invited Redemption to my class. and you know what Redemption is?
Yes.
Clarence's group, hip-hop group. And each semester he comes to my class and does this presentation for my students. And during one of the Q&A, question and answers, a student asked him how the church as a whole sort of receives this or perceives this gospel hip-hop. And he talked about how in the beginning, a lot of the congregation were a little resistant. They didn't really accept gospel hip-hop because of what hip-hop represents, and also the youth. But now, very gradually, Mount Moriah, with the help of its pastor, is allowing and also helping the congregation to become more acceptable to this new sound. And so I thought about talking more to different gospel hip-hop groups to see what their thoughts are on how they've been received by the church, but also generally about what gospel hip-hop means and what it represents to the youth in the church, but also to the youth in general. And so with all of this, I thought about getting some gospel groups together and then talking to them about their own viewpoints and then presenting that at a conference. And that's what it's for. And the conference is in October coming up.
Okay.
Yeah, and since you guys came to my class and did a wonderful job, I thought, wow, what an opportunity, you know, to get to talk to you and also hear your version or perspectives on all that's going on with gospel hip hop. So that's what this is for.
Okay.
Yeah. I hope it's. Yeah. So you've been in existence since 2003, you said.
Yeah.
What led to this group? Whose idea was it, and you know how did it all come together, I guess?
I have an older brother
Okay.
who's also in the ministry as well.
True.
And, with him, he was pretty much on the very opposite end of the spectrum from where we are today.
Okay.
Like he
Could you
was
elaborate? Yes.
pretty much doing any and everything that an unsaved person
Okay.
could think to do.
Sure.
Pretty much between selling drugs to doing drugs, just sinning, you know, just all out sinning. But one day he came home, and when he came home, he was saved, and then shortly thereafter, he got called into the ministry. So the drive that was in him, he wasn't going to let any of us not be saved. So in that, it started with him coming up to me, "You saved? Are you saved?" And then I've been in church all of this time, but when he asked me was I saved, I was just quiet for like a whole day, really thinking if I was saved or not. And I knew if I had to think that much if I was saved or not, then that was a problem. So that pretty much got me on the page of gospel. And then DJ would come by. I used to cut DJ's hair, so he would come by the house So while we're in normal conversation, my brother might just be like, DJ, you say? Just like that.
Puts you on the spot.
Yeah.
So from that, we kind of recruited DJ.
Okay.
And me and DJ had made songs together before Hostile Gospel, but they weren't gospel songs. DJ had a number of albums before the Hostile Gospel albums already out, so he had been rapping, and I had just kind of started to get into it, to actually rapping. And then once both of us got saved, we just figured, why not use our gifts for God? And then that's kind of the birth of Hostile Gospel. And then there was a lot of Bible studies, a lot of just getting into the Word to find out what is true and what is not. Because really, if we can't base what we're doing on what the Bible says, then it's all going to be in vain. You know, we can make as many songs as we want, but if none of them are sound according to the Word, it's not going to work.
So how did Fontaine come in?
I was in the gym at Parkland, and Parkland was the college that me and Fontaine attended, and Fontaine was actually, he helped me to start lifting weights, and he wanted to get a weightlifting club going. And so we, you know, in beginning that relationship through weightlifting, I asked him if he knew God. And he said, yeah, and I was like, cool. And he asked me a question that I couldn't answer about if someone was, someone's in a burning building and they took their own life, would they go to heaven or hell? And so I introduced him to Jarrell because I didn't know.
Right.
And so I introduced him to Jarrell, and him and Jarrell started chatting it up, and then next thing you know, Fontaine's, you know, we become four in a group, you know, and it's just been like that ever since. You know, just more recruiting, and other guys have come along and have left also,
Sure.
you know, to do what God has called them to do, but that's how Fontaine came along.
Okay.
And it basically started like with the Lee MOC.
Yeah.
It was like a group for males. We were trying to strive out to be better Christians. Led by his brother Jarrell. We had other guys. We would meet on like Fridays when we was, you know, when you were go out that time. We decided we wanted to meet on that day. And we had Bible studies, and it sharpened us to be like better Christians because we were told to lead Bible studies. And I'll let Reynard tell you how that eventually led him into ministry, because after that he started to do things. Yeah. I'll put him on the spot.
Yeah, he did put me way on the spot. But like he was saying, or pretty much piggybacking from what I said before, it was through those Bible studies where we kind of gained the knowledge to even have the thought to say we want to call ourselves Hostile Gospel. And as we were in those Bible studies, like Fontaine said, I was also trying to pay you. I was also called into the ministry as well, so that just kind of gave me an extra spark, I would guess, to say, okay, this is what it is, so let's go, you know. And then maybe a year and a half after we kind of formed the group, my brother moved to Mississippi.
Okay.
So with him moving to Mississippi, somebody got to lead the group. And with me pretty much being the one who was called into the ministry, it's like, you the only minister here.
Right.
So guess what? You got to lead the group.
Right. Okay.
So then at that time we started having our own Bible studies still. And then pretty much up until about the time they came to school here, we were still having Bible studies and stuff like that, just to make us stronger, because I mean, without it, it's not going to work.